Alright guys, so I'm here with Adam. Adam, you are a author, a financial guy.
Do a few things.
As he is a YouTuber, an iTunes guy, podcaster, and he is the founder of, what are you?
Dollar Mental Health Club, Full Synergy Group, and the Tribe of Change.
And those links will be in the description of this video, that is if you won't mind.
Of course, everybody can usually just go to cognitiverampage.com.
I'm probably going to need that written down. So, you have been through a lot in your lifetime, different pains and stuff. And what blew my mind is how wise this guy is.
I have my moments.
Everyone has their moments at points of time. One moment you're like, oh god, this sucks. The next moment you're like, oh wow, this doesn't suck. And as we were just talking earlier, life is from one moment to another, like different points of time. Like one thing could happen that could fix another problem. Like let's say, if your parents were to break apart, you know what I'm saying? If your parents were to break apart, there's always a good side and there's a bad side to it. The good side is you could meet new people you never knew that could actually help you through your journey, right? Is that right?
Wise beyond your years for a 14-year-old.
That actually is pretty wise with what I just thought of. And I actually just thought that up from what we were just talking about earlier. And
I call it becoming the master of the silver lining. And what you seem to have done is, through things, is being able to find the silver lining. One can become the master of the silver lining, then there are no problems.
And to me, you are the master of the silver lining because you just blew my mind with the most wisest things I've ever heard, and I've never heard some of the things you have actually said about how one thing can keep you moving through the troubles you have.
One belief, yes. Belief is the strongest thing that we have on this planet.
Well, other than not when I'm jumping in the office.
Yeah, let's hope that the belief is strong enough not to have Trump in the office.
But I could actually see. No, I actually want. Well, it's iffy for me. It's just I don't know which one.
For the most part, it's all pretty screwed up.
Yeah,
we need a whole new system, and I'm hoping your generation will change
the
this
new
bullshit.
generation. Yeah, I could go from what crap we have going on now to better crap than it was.
I think you guys can do better. I have a 16-year-old daughter, and she still surprises me sometimes, and kind of makes me excited for the next generation.
Yeah, kind of what people could do in the future, like flying cars, taking out all that asphalt, putting a large magnet in, and just
getting rid of war,
and probably destroying ISIS. That would be amazing. That would like literally for people on the other side of the world. That could be useful.
Possibly.
Just look at us. We had some of our Navy people taken by them.
But if we get rid of them, it won't be long before another snakehead pops up and maybe something
another
else.
gold comes in.
That's it.
You know that joke?
Mm-hmm.
You know that joke?
Go ahead.
Stargate?
No, I'm assuming you quoted Mythical Creature.
Oh no, it's a TV show. It's an old TV show that's they've done.
I'm showing my age, man. I'm a 35-year-old dad now, so.
I had a 70. He actually likes stuff like that. Sci-fi fanatic.
Cool.
Star Trek, Star Wars, Stargate. That's the Triple S.
Yeah, that's cool stuff.
But is it true that from what you have experienced in your lifetime, the generations before can have negative or positive effects on the next generation from what comes after one?
Yeah, this actually is one of the worst generations we're leaving behind. The baby boomers, on down to my generation, we're actually leaving, in my opinion, and a few other very smart people's opinion, a worse off generation. We have soaked up the resources, we have created global war, we have
global warming.
We have done that, and we're not doing anything about it. So I mean, our generation.
Obama was trying to fix that by letting the pollution come
Money
over.
makes that happen or not happen. So
Yeah, I don't really trust him with much of money actually.
I don't trust anything.
Just listen. Our national debt before was $16 trillion. It is now $18 trillion.
And counting.
Exactly, and probably it's up to 19 by now.
Yeah.
And who's to blame? our crappy economy.
You know what? I'm gonna blame us.
Well, it is somewhat our fault
We
because
allow it.
we allow, yeah, like you said, we allow the problems to keep growing. I mean, look, gasoline is getting cheaper because we're putting more holes in the earth, which if we keep this up, our whole planet's going to be covered in holes if we're not careful, right?
Sure, fracking is getting terrible. Taking the oil, yeah, there's a lot of bad things
Yeah.
going on. I'm gonna change direction on your interview because what I do for a living is interview people, and I've interviewed some very amazing people that I probably shouldn't even be talking to, and I have to say that I am still thrown back and still in awe of you. Is that you're a 14-year-old kid, and you're having these thoughts sitting here going through your mind that most teenagers would never have.
Yeah, most people would just be like, oh, I like this band, such and such.
That's it.
Phones.
Well, and you follow a passion, and you're following interests and instincts. And many kids forget how to do that. They're too busy being told what to do, and they follow that.
Sometimes you just have to say no to a command somebody gives. You just have to say no once in a while for something you don't want to do. Like if you, like let's say, you're told to forget about someone and you don't want to forget about them because they're so close to you. They're like another family member. You can't forget about them because they're that close. It's hard to leave people, don't you think?
Yeah, it is. Leaving people becomes one of the hardest things to do. Not only does it become physiological because our bodies get connected and we're used to it, it becomes behavioral, it becomes cognitive,
too.
all of it. That's right.
Because, well, I had to leave a lot of friends twice. Different times. The ones,
I'm sorry, man.
the one in Lake Mary, I was telling you about that. I had a lot of friends. I was literally friends with everybody in the neighborhood except for my neighbors because they were dicks a lot. They tried hitting me with a rock. Now just imagine that, right? You hit with a rock. Around Christmas too. Painful one day.
I can tell you this. It's not going to seem easy for you right now when I say this.
You know, it's,
But I'm going to tell you this. Because of the tremendous amount of trauma or stress that you felt at this young age, what happens underground when tremendous amounts of pressure are applied for a long amount of time?
it doesn't, it just hurts.
It makes it down.
It makes it down. Because good things can come from
Pressure.
what happened.
So for you, if this amount of pressure is happening to you at this young of an age, I can only imagine
What
what
can
kind of
happen in the
diamonds
future.
are waiting for you when it's done making what it's making.
I mean, just look at it. Look how far I've gone on YouTube. I mean, even YouTube
Don't
doesn't
measure
matter.
yourself by that shit.
Nah, it doesn't
Fuck
matter.
'em. If nobody watches this and two
Forget
views go
about it.
up, fuck them. Because what you're doing is we tend to search sometimes.
We try to see what we can master through what we do. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like trying to be famous over the web. That takes courage and time. It takes courage to actually do a video yourself.
It very much so does.
Which actually I was frightened to actually get in front of a camera. God knows.
How'd you get over it?
I got over it by just thinking of what could come from doing something.
So take that same thought and apply it to what you've been through as a kid and look long term. Play the long game in chess.
I suck at chess.
But play the long game. If you notice that getting in front of the camera terrified you and it hurt a little bit, but you did it anyway because you could have the front sight.
That's thinking of what can happen.
You had the foresight to see.
You can see what you can accomplish through life just by feeling it. Fear, some people would say fear holds you back from what you can accomplish, but others say fear can keep you going.
Wow. Okay. That is the exact video that I shot after I was on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. I was in LA and I kicked up my camera and I talked about fear and how people run from fear. They say about chance or whatever.
Fear, some people would actually say fear shouldn't exist, but I think by a personal level, what I've been through of a lot of things, living with my friends twice, I would say that fear can make beautiful things grow, like a flower. Rain falls on the flower. Like some people would say rain on a baby flower isn't good, but in the long run, you would see that flowers start to grow out and become a beautiful flower. You know what I mean?
You're 14.
Yes.
Impressive.
Born September 27, 2001.
Impressive. we were sitting here before you started the show, and we were talking, and we talked about what your dreams were, or anything like that. Listen, I'm here to tell you 100%, keep doing this. But you need to stop with the whole viral shit. Stop with
Forget
the
about
burning
that.
of stuff up. Stop of what's funny. Forget that.
Just imagine what you can
No,
accomplish.
no, that's not your knack. Your knack is the interview. Your knack is the questioning of things that most kids your age won't
Wouldn't
question.
even think about talking about.
That's you.
I mean, wow, just actually made me realize what I'm actually doing right now. Being here with Adam. Literally, I never knew that. Today when I woke up, I was thinking it was just gonna be go bowling, come back, go on the computer, end of day. That's it. But I never knew I would actually be talking to Adam, a fireman, a guy that started his own company in a way, an author, a doctor.
Not a doctor. Just a mental health counselor.
That counts too.
Yeah, okay. Mind
That counts
doctor.
as
We
a
can say a
doctor.
mind doctor.
How do you pronounce it?
Oh, we were talking about physiology and the makeup.
Physiology.
By grant, I am a mental health counselor and a master of it.
And so through your
And a podcaster and a YouTuber and iTunes, that's what I do. And by chance, I'm going to put it out there, everyone watching, I sat here because I'm going to tell you why a bunch of people are going to watch this interview at the end of this. Because I sat down here to do a little work. And you were brave enough to sit down here and spark up a chat with me, and not about the weather, not about football. You asked me about big things in life. Well, that's my conversation, and that's where I like to be. And bravely, you sat down and you asked if you could do an interview with myself, not even knowing who I was.
until after.
After the people go by, we'll pick right back up where we are. Because
Yeah.
I'm going to finish this.
I'm probably gonna cut this part out. Yeah, this guy.
Leave it. Leave it all. Make it raw. Make it raw, because I'm going to show you,
So
tell you what I'm going to do.
finish your interview, and then I'll get you a soda holder.
Alright.
Well, what I'm going to do for everybody watching, and I'd never met him, and he sat down and bravely jumped down here and did this, and not knowing who I am or what my podcast does or what I do. So what I'm going to do, because I think you are an excellent interviewer, and I have, like I said, I've interviewed some of the best in the business, the best minds in the game, and you at 14 have posed questions and thoughts most adults will never do. And randomly did it, and I don't believe in coincidences. So when you're done with this video, I want you to post it to YouTube, and I'm going to share it my entire network.
Wow. You just today, as I said earlier, I didn't think I would meet a guy that was as kind, as generous to actually allow me to actually film you for YouTube. That would, most people that you just walk up to would say, no, I don't know who you are, forget about it.
That's how I started.
Yeah, you would just be like, can I interview you? Nah, forget about it. People would just be like, no, I don't know who you are, just forget about it. I don't want to interview you, no, I'm not going to let you interview me. But you took your time of your busy day to actually let me be able to interview you as just, this was just a miracle actually what just happened. And some people would actually say, for who you are, for how big some people would say you are, for actually letting me interview you was actually, there's no word to actually describe what just happened. I would say
That, go ahead, I interrupted you.
I would say it was like a dream. Some people would say it's like a dream to actually meet somebody as big as you and allow you to be filmed.
That's kind of you, and there's so many much bigger than me, brother. And more than likely, you are going to destroy me as you get older and do what you do.
Nah, bro. If I destroy you, I'm still gonna help you along. All right. I'm still gonna, for each video I have men talk about you in, which I'm not gonna try to. Don't worry. All right. I'm not that kind of a jerk.
They all try, it's all right.
They all try to do that. They're like, nah, I can't do this. He's too kind of a guy. I mean, why would somebody be so mean about that and insult somebody?
They do. When I started, brother, and I would ask people that got the same. Who are you? What's it matter?
What's it matter to interview me? I mean, I'm just an ordinary person. I have nothing important about it.
Me too. Nothing important about me. I just perceive it to be sometimes.
But it just literally makes me meeting Adam here, the guy that did so much but been through so bad of a past. Like you were telling me about an abusive family you were in. For how much, like as I said earlier about the flower, for how much negative energy was pushed onto you, you ended up to be a beautiful flower growing out, and you would still keep growing. There's there's an endless amount of what could be accomplished through this.
You're already doing it, man. You're a 14-year-old interviewing an author like a champion, man. Like you're killing it right now.
To tell you the truth, I've never done this before in my life. This is literally first.
And it's your first?
Yes, literally my first interview, and blowing it. You probably don't believe me right
No,
now.
I do. You haven't lied to me yet. And so what I would tell you...
It's actually, it would be impossible for me to lie to somebody. You're like the highest authority.
No, I'm not. No.
So in my view, you're like a president.
There's a guy like Xavier Cantana that's out there who runs the Human Experience podcast, who's a murderer, and a lot of other guys. These guys are beasts, and I'm learning from them. I'm learning from these guys. And, I don't believe there's any coincidences.
No, there's no such thing as coincidence. It's all like a plan. It's a plan, basically. There's a plan that keeps growing, and you can go off the plan and start another plan for how this one main plan to accomplish. But some people go off and destroy what they could have done by going to jail, prison, dying even killing somebody, going to prison for that. It's basically like throwing what they were able to do, just throwing it into the person that created them, that gave them birth, their mother. They're just throwing it into their face, like they don't care. They're like, I don't want this, I don't need this, I want that. You know what I mean? Like you're like, I don't want this kind of a life. Accomplish those, but I don't want it anymore.
I mean, for your first interview, wow, man, you're going to go far. Because you look back, right, and I tend to look back at the first people we ever interviewed or were ever interviewed by, and where that launches you to, right? I was lucky enough by some chance of something to be interviewed for my very first time by Joe Rogan. I mean, one of the greatest podcasts of all
How'd you
time.
even meet him anyway?
Randomly. I was in LA, I did some things for my daughter, we show up at a place, it was random, and he was so kind to listen to me, and he gave me a chance. And you know what I did?
Like my chance of interviewing you.
Now you're catching me. So
I
when
see
he
how
gave me that chance,
you want to try to give other people a chance, just like he gave you a chance.
that's right. So when I started the Cognitive Rampage podcast,
Some people. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let you go first.
good. That's an interview tactic. Good job. I struggle with that, dude. When I'm interviewing people, I can generally never learn to shut up. I'm terrible at it.
You and me both.
I'm terrible. So, but Joe happened to be nice and allow that. Now I'm on no level with Joe, but my podcast allows me to give people that feeling,
I see what you're doing.
and I'm paying it forward.
Oh, and let me tell you something. When I upload this,
You actually helped me with some confirmation today.
also when I upload this, I'm probably gonna name it me interviewing the Adam. All right, I just have because I'm probably never gonna remember how to spell your last name.
Yeah, it's Lowery.
But when I upload this, I would let you actually convert it from video file to MP3 and actually put it on your podcast.
If the sound comes off good and we can enhance it, I most certainly will. But what I definitely will do is share your video on my YouTube. I will share it on my Twitter. I will share it on my Facebook.
Oh,
and
also I have Twitter as well.
that's tens of thousands of people.
Elvis pressing something.
That's tens of thousands of people.
Man, just for what you're doing, you're actually letting me know what I could accomplish in life already. Like, just forget all YouTube, forget everything of the internet. For what you have made me realize in life, for how much stuff I can actually talk about under my age. You're actually making me think of what I could actually accomplish in life, through life itself, what could happen, in fact.
Dude, randomly like this.
Also,
my
we
friend.
just need like a table and some coffee.
Yeah, that's it. You see how you're thinking? So, man, you take this interview skill that you have a good one.
I didn't even have it at
Well,
first.
I'm telling you, you have one. You have a good interview skill. You hone this. You interview as many people as you can. And you talk about it. Learn to be quiet. Let them talk. Crawl into their heads. Open yourself up in there and be fearless. Be fearless. Like you were by asking me. Because you know what? When I had to go walk up to approach Joe, just to say hi, I was terrified.
Oh, I know how you feel, because when I first met a famous YouTuber, I forgot who it was, I'll think of it later. But I was thinking of going up to him and just saying hi, but something on my mind told me, like, you can't do this, you're not going to be able to.
That's when you have to do it.
I'm thinking to myself, well, I can do it. I mean, I believe in myself that I can accomplish what I want to accomplish through life. And you have just that one, when you first start life, it's just like a big chunk, a huge, enormous chunk saying, you can't do this. But as you accomplish that one bubble, it keeps shrinking through as you keep ignoring it, like you're thinking to yourself, no, I can't go up and meet him. But every time you do, it just keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking until it's gone.
My friend, what's your full name?
Daniel James Robinson.
Daniel James Robinson. I will not forget that because we're going to share this, but you're going to be quite famous one day.
One day, someday.
And it still won't fix everything. Remember,
from what happened through life itself, it's never gonna fill it up. Just that one hole will never be able to be filled up.
I disagree.
Hmm?
I disagree with you. How do you feel right now?
That's your opinion.
How do you feel? Damn, you listened. How do you feel right now?
I feel.
Fulfilled?
I feel.
Do you feel like you're in a zone right now?
What I really feel right now is privileged, actually.
Oh, God, no.
In some ways privileged, and in some ways complete.
There's the whole fill.
In some ways I feel complete, but still, that one hole, it's like about that big right now.
Now let me just switch a little verbiage for you. A lot of people get it confused, right? That we can't be happy in the now while also wanting more. So what people confuse is, since I want more, then I must not be happy now. And that's
You're going to be happy through life.
you can be happy right now while still wanting more. And that's you, my friend. You just have to learn to be happy in the now without the more.
Without what you want through life, but what you have to realize is you want to be happy and you want more through life, like food. When some people discount food, your stomach says no, but you're thinking to yourself, I can just eat a little bit more, but you eventually don't eat it because you know if you eat it, it's bad.
Sir, you know when to cut, you know when to stop. You hone this.
Funniest thing is I don't know what watch it. We'll watch it, don't laugh.
You keep honing this interview, my friend.
It says 0, 0, 0 right now. See? See my watch?
It's half past my friend.
Let me check my crush. It's a bit slow. A friend of mine told me that. Edward John, yeah. Edward John told me that joke, so I don't know if he doesn't have a YouTube channel. I'm just letting him know, John, if you're watching this, Edward. I always call him my middle name. John, if you're watching this, thank you for the joke. I'm always going to give you credit for that.
Dude, if you don't continue and pursue this, I will hunt you down. You better stay doing this. You better, because you give credit to those that you say. That's what interviewers do. I mean, my friend, you have a talent.
I have to say something. I also have to give you credit for actually letting me interview you as well. It is
You
a pleasure
asked.
to meet. It is a pleasure to actually meet you. As
We
well.
just met, that's right. I want an interview like
It was
this.
like
You took,
half past this spot.
you
right
took
here.
the chance. You took the shot and asked.
And fuck. It was like, what's it? I don't know. I want to check my crotch. It's a bit slow.
So, any last question?
What was it like when you were a kid? How was it really that tough on you? Like, was getting made fun of? Were you ever made fun of or something?
My story's a little different. I'll tell you the short version. It was from a little small town in Ocoee, Pine Hills area in Orlando, Central Florida. And my school was huge. It was a 3,500 students in my high school. I played sports. People knew me, if you will. But what people didn't know about me is my father was quite abusive. He would be emotionally, verbally, and physically abusive.
Can I say something real quick? people around the world, if you're watching this, some people might think that if you look at somebody and you think that nothing's wrong with them, go up to them. If they're like that one person that doesn't talk much, go up to them, ask them if everything's alright, make sure they're okay. You don't want to be a jerk that just ignores everyone and just looks for what you want to do. Like when you said, don't worry about what happens if you go up to them. You go up to them. Don't ignore if anybody makes fun of you for doing so. Go up to them, start a conversation like that. What I did with Adam, I didn't know who he was, so I sat down and we started talking, and come to find out we think a lot alike. We think alike.
So when you circle back for me, man, what became difficult was the facade that I had to wear at school of I'm a star athlete, I'm okay, I'm tough. But then when I would go home, I was terrified, and it was a scary place to be.
Oh, I know that feeling. Like at school, you want to feel like you're the top dog, like numero uno.
Yeah. Well, there were a lot more,
But
top dogs for sure.
But then, as life goes on, you start thinking to yourself, hey, it's not always going to be about me. It's going to be about others. Other people get their chance to take the front. Like Adam here, he didn't know when he was born. He didn't think at all. Just saying. But when he got to be a young age, he didn't think he would do as much as he did.
I thought I'd be dead before I was 30. Because after football fell out, after I dropped out of college, I became a really big drug dealer. And I was violent, and I was hurting people. And I thought, I'll be shot eventually, or I'll be in prison. And,
So then you
and I was addicted. And I was addicted to pick a drug.
Then you thought to yourself, hey, if I quit now, I could make a change to world to do it.
I actually was working in the nightclub business, and
Nice.
I got rid of all my nightclub
Let's just
work.
say something really quick. For the ones who are watching for the Orlando massacre, we are very sorry for what happened to you guys, for your losses, for your family that isn't around anymore. I mean, I know the feeling because my uncle was always part of Smile. No matter what time of the day, he always part of Smile. And when he passed away, it was nothing. It wasn't the same anymore. It just lost its happiness feeling for that point of time. And Adam here made me realize that if you can, well, you may have not said this, but if you remember what they said, some of the things they did, it's like they're never dead, they're not gone. When you die, when you say
You
something,
are tripping me out right now.
and then also
Sir, you are quite wise beyond your 14 years, sir.
by my 14-year-old brain.
Good
And
Lord. I counsel people about grief, right? And you know what I tell them? What I tell them is the relationship's not gone, it's just redefined.
it's in a different. It's like
And
it's
you
like
just said
another
the
dimension.
same thing at 14.
It's basically like they're not gone. It's like what's a good example? It's like a picture. If you have a picture of somebody that you don't get to see anymore or much anymore, you can just imagine like they are still there. You can still talk to them, although some people call you crazy for talking to a picture.
that's
but
right.
ignore it. Ignore what they say. What they say doesn't make a difference to who you are. Who you are is who you are. What you want to do in life is up to you. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to do such and such to make this. Ignore them. Well, depending on what it is.
No, I'm with
But
you.
if they tell you to stop your dreams, you can't accomplish it. Ignore them. They're the negative ones. When they tell you to stop that, they're giving up on their dreams. So they want you to feel what they're feeling about leaving their dreams behind. They don't want you to succeed like they wanted to. They just want you. They want to hold you back from what you can make in life.
Now I'll do this part for you.
Alright.
Daniel, right? Daniel last name?
Robinson. I go by Daniel Lark for you too.
Okay. Well, Daniel and myself, Adam Lowery, here are sitting here randomly, and I'm going to exit this show now because what he just dropped is what we call a cognitive rampage. And the young man just went off on his own cognitive rampage, which I love to watch happen. And frankly, that I got to be his first interview has makes me honored. And so when we share this on my network and everybody, I'm asking everybody in the Tribe of Change, everybody in the Cognitive Rampage, please share this. Share this dude around, because he was brave. He approached me not knowing anything at 14, and this is his very first interview. His very first interview. Think about that. This kid is going to be big. He's going to interview some big names. You watch out for Mr. Daniel right here. He's going to do it. Everybody out there, please do me that favor. Adam Lowery, the Cognitive Rampage is asking you directly. Please share this man's stuff. You blow me away. I appreciate this opportunity to talk to you, because I've grown from this. And look under every rock. Look under every rock and talk to every person, because I just learned from a 14-year-old.
May I say something really quick?
It's your show. I'm sorry.
When you're looking under the rocks, if you find Patrick Starr, tell him I said hi.
And on that note, hope you're taking care of you, and I hope you're living your cognitive rampage. You can find anything on me at cognitiverampage.com, adamlowery.com, dollarmentalhealthclub.com, and on, man. The book's on Amazon, the podcast is on iTunes, we're also on YouTube. Like I always say, I love you, and I love you.
Fist bump.
Bang.
Please like and subscribe to my channel. Share this with your friends all over the world, whoever you want to share them with. Show your parents, show your friends, show anybody. And on that note, I'll see you next time.